Well, hey, welcome to the hood. Don't you know that I'll be around to guide you through your weakest moments, to leave them behind you, turning nightmares, only shadows will cast some light in.
This is a community that's been a Mexican or Latino or Chicano community for years.
Some light and it'll be alright for now. Crossing so long, heavy on.
This is like the barrio in Santa Cruz, really.
A lot of people's drinking, a lot of people's, cocaine, something. It's stupid.
So what you have is generations of families who come to this neighborhood, who have this connection to this neighborhood.
Cast some light and it'll be alright.
In terms of this neighborhood being close-knit, I think that it has to be because a lot of the issues that these people are dealing with are very similar issues of jobs or travel or family or homeland, so it brings them all together. They have to support each other.
Crossing so long, the boulevard.
I found out about the garden when they were going to close it, so I actually didn't even know it existed before that, before March of '08. So I found out about it because my friends called me and they said, Carly, the city's shutting down the Beach Flats community garden.
A lot of people, the neighbors, says, ain't no garden, ain't no more garden. Why?
People.
The city had communicated to all the gardeners that they needed to turn in their keys and that they could not plant anything. This year we decided what would happen is that the people who had been planting here would continue planting. Those people that had worked the land would continue planting. And then we cleared a new space in the back, and those spaces were going to be offered off or raffled off to people in the community. I bring this up because it demonstrates sort of two different ways of viewing the land distribution. We have the city who wants the land to be raffled off, whereas the gardeners here come from more of a Mexican or indigenous culture, whereas if you want to work land or you want a spot in the garden, you come and you work the land, or you contribute somehow to working the land. You don't call somebody up and say, hey, put me on a list. You show up and you say, how can I help? What can I do? Is there a spot for me to plant? And so what we're doing now is trying to reconcile those two beliefs with the city, because the city does hold the lease to this land, so we have to work with them to some extent. At the same time, these gardeners maintain this space. Some trust issues with the city. The gardeners really felt like they were lied to, so they needed someone they could trust to be sort of a liaison between the city and them. And I think Domingo kind of saw that I could do that, and so he kind of welcomed me. So Domingo came here in the early 1970s. He's the jefe, or the boss of the garden. So when any of the gardeners have questions, they go to Domingo to ask what to do.
Pues Reina, tu amiga vino, ya no se va a sembrar, dice visa a la gente. Pues nada, pues digo, ya no vengo a parar aquí, ya. Arranqué mis plantas, arranqué los chiles, arranqué un chayote que tengo ahí. Me dijo, Reina, dile a las personas que ya no se sembran. Le digo, yo, ¿por qué le voy a decir tú, dile, no yo? Y Reina creo le pagaba el condado porque manda aquí, pero ella se agarra todo el dinero. Le dan para la herramienta, para la manguera, pero ella nunca compra.
There was community members and gardeners and activists and the representatives from the city. And the gardeners met sort of outside of that and came up with their own solution of how the garden could continue. This is one of the things they told us, that they didn't have city staff time to administer the garden. So the gardeners saw that and found a solution that they would come up with a committee to sort of do the administering of the garden, so that would take that burden off of the city. Higher ups in the city found out that the garden was being closed down. The Sentinel ran a piece on it that the city of Santa Cruz was shutting down the Beach Flats Community Garden, and they had a picture of Domingo on the front, so it was very pro keeping it open. So I think that pressured the city as well, because there's actually two other community gardens in Santa Cruz, and it looks really bad if you're closing down the Mexican community garden and not the other two. Gardening is a big part of like Mexican culture. It's just important that young males have role models that are gardeners, especially Mexican males, because when we look to the media, I mean, there's not too many strong Mexican male role models, and I think that these gardeners provide a role model. And it's all organic because when he learned to plant, you didn't use pesticides or anything. So, and I think in this time period when communities are looking for models of how to run community gardens or run urban gardening, that this is really a garden that they could look to figure out how to do it.
Pues cuando empezó estaba muy feo y ahorita está re bonito ya.
Lot of plants, it's flowers, stuff. Beautiful.
Pues me vine a trabajar porque allá en mi tierra pagan muy barato, luego no llueve, no se da la cosecha.
He's been planting since he was 7, you know, so he knows a lot. Now he's 74 or older.
Luego me levanto a las 4, a las 5, voy a barrer la calle, luego me estoy regando, bueno, cualquier cosa. Aquí nomás a ver vengo a limpiar por ahí, no siento que se va el día. Luego vienen mis amigos, estamos platicando, y se va el día rápido.